An active force against dangerous drugs and teenage vaping. Stepping aside, Dr. Scott Gottlieb has led the FDA for just about 2 years now. He's been the force behind approving new generic drugs, the fight against opioid abuse, and the crackdown on e-cigarettes. News 5's Kevin Barry looks at his legacy and explains what's next.
At just 8 years old, Lola Kibler used to have as many as 100 seizures a day because of her Dravet syndrome. When other treatments weren't effective, Lola's family turned to the recently FDA-approved Epidiolex.
So what they think is it either blocks the disruption or it makes the connection.
Christian Kibler is Lola's dad.
Either way, her brain doesn't short circuit, which is pretty much what a seizure is.
The FDA's approval of Epidiolex was a big deal because it contains part of the marijuana plant. It was bold, but Dr. Sharona Hoffman at Case Western Reserve University says it fits the FDA's commissioner, Dr. Scott Gottlieb.
Given a conservative administration, I think that did surprise some people. He's fairly young and wanted to make his mark.
Under Gottlieb, the FDA also approved more generic drugs, trying to drive prescription prices down. He tried to fight the opioid epidemic and took on e-cigarette companies, saying youth vaping levels had become an epidemic.
The FDA, you could say, has been somewhat part of the problem here as opposed to being part of the solution.
Scott Perlmutter is a lawyer who's been bringing cases involving e-cigarettes and vaping devices. He says for years, the FDA allowed the industry to operate with very little oversight. So to him, Gottlieb's crackdown on marketing flavored tobacco to teens is encouraging, but too late.
There is at least a push with the FDA that they're coming around to help the communities more, but we'll see how that really pans out.
That's why Dr. Hoffman says what happens next really falls to the next FDA commissioner.
Certainly he has paved a path that someone else could follow.
She says if the next commissioner wants to be as active as Gottlieb was, they can be. But while Gottlieb made many ambitious statements, he didn't create many new regulations.
It creates some public pressure, it creates media interest, but it's not going to appreciably change behavior unless there's some kind of consequence, unless they are restricted in some way.
In Cleveland, I'm Kevin Barry, News 5.